いざようこそ日本へ。
It's the kind of things you read in the stories.
Absolutely best experience ever.
Welcome to Tokyo. Biggest city in Japan, and 13 million people live in the greater Tokyo. The store started from the Meiji Shinto shrine, and it was dedicated to the Meiji Emperor and Empress. Before praying to a Shinto shrine, we have to wash our hands and then wash our mouth. Shintoist is our original religion. People want to marry in that occasion, so they're lucky. Then we went to Asakusa Temple area. That is the oldest temple in Tokyo. Then we went to Imperial Palace Garden.
It's a little bit of a haven in the midst of a mad city. You can just relax and walk and enjoy the flowers, the plants, and especially the cherry blossom.
Cherry blossoms normally bloom end of March until beginning of April.
It's been really interesting seeing them having picnics under the cherry trees. It's a special festival time for the Japanese people as well as all the tourists.
My childhood memory were pictures of Mount Fuji with the cherry blossom. The location, it suddenly stands out from all the other mountains around it as such an individual piece of landscape.
Mount Fuji is the highest mountain for us and the symbol of Japan, and 3,776 meters high. And this is a secret mountain for us because there's a shrine on the top of the mountain. Mount Fuji is still active volcano. Last eruption was 300 years ago, and we are so worried about please don't erupt again during our age.
Masata Castle is one of the fifth natural treasure. It's more than 400 years old. There is a big difference between European castle and Japanese castle. Japanese castle was made of wood, and European castle was made of stone.
I'm keen on history, so I was very interested in Masata Castle. I was fascinated by the weaponry and also the various wooden floorings that we were going up. Beautifully built, beautifully renovated.
I am the sixth generation of this sake brewery. Sake made out of rice and pure water. Very popular in Japan, but nowadays very popular among foreigners. We have several kinds of sake, and also we recommend drink sake cold or warmed. It depends on the meal.
I always like to try new things that are presented, so there was some sweet with slight liqueur, and there was some rather nice, rather sharp with more spirit in it.
I tasted the plum one, and that was really very nice. Not quite so sweet as some of the others. Yeah, and interesting to see how it was made. It was really lovely to see the old streets and feel the tradition of Japan is still there. They've not lost that culture.
Oh, it was just such a beautiful day and a wonderful setting. You had the woods to one end and the mountains to the other. I think it's wonderful that they've been able to get all these different houses together in one place just to show you what they would have been like. The structure, the roofs, all the different things that they were there. There was the woodcutter, the doctor. Made you think that you were back several hundred years watching things happen.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the Barrhead.
That was the highlight for me. The room was an experience, wasn't it, with the paper screens to slide across and sleeping on the floor. I haven't done for many years on a futon, but it was an experience. And the dinner was great, wasn't it? I mean, it was just sensational, the number of courses and the detail that went into the food. That's it with the Japanese, it's detail, design, quality.
And the whole experience, that it was peaceful as well as fun, not having done it before.
Absolutely best experience ever. Everything I imagined and even better.
Welcome to Omijo Market.
I quite enjoy going into markets like that. Particularly enjoyed looking at the different types of fish, the size of the crabs, etc.
And that was really quite a bombardment of the senses, the smells, the colour, the sights. Some of these fish that were on offer were awesome. I was just fascinated as to what they might do with them and how they might cook them, especially some of the more gruesome ones.
It was a beautiful garden. Very different to our gardens. I did like the layouts, the tranquility. It's just lovely, just wandering around. Although there were a lot of people, it seemed to be very tranquil and serene. And the use of water, I think this is something typically Japanese, and I find it very soothing.
There'll be things, I am sure, that will get transferred into our garden from the way that the Japanese do their gardens.
And then it was extra special, we also saw a wedding going on, which was very interesting.
You can see the philosophy of this harmony within the garden. There's trees and ponds, and even in a small area, they make it look so beautiful and so tranquil. And that's something actually I would say that I've learned from them, and it's making most of what one has got. And I thought that was really lovely.
I enjoyed the bullet train. That was, for me, being a man who used to train spot as a boy, that was fabulous.
The bullet train, that was one reason why I came to Japan. The shape of it, I mean, it looked like a dolphin's nose, if you like. And the speed.
I don't know what speed we were travelling at, 175, 185 miles an hour, but it was so good, so steady, and so wide. Did you notice how wide the carriages were? I mean, 5 seats and a wide aisle. It was fabulous.
You've got so much space to wriggle and move, and the courtesy of the people who bring the trolley around. And I think some of our trains at home could probably learn a few lessons.
This morning we went to Miyajima Island. It's been regarded as a sacred island since the ancient times because according to the Shinto mythology, 3 sisters of goddesses lived on the island.
It was like a picture postcard. It's the kind of things you read in the stories.
It is said that they lived since 6,000 years ago. They are believed to be messengers of the god and goddesses. The big torii gate and the shrine stand in the sea. The shrine was reconstructed in the 12th century. After Miyajima, we went to Peace Park. We visited the atomic bomb dome ruins, and also we visited the Children's Peace Monument, which is very famous for 1,000 paper cranes. The crane is the symbol of peace and also symbol of children's hope now. When the atomic bomb was dropped Monday morning at 8:15 on August 6, 1945. At that time, the population of Hiroshima was 350,000, and it is not clear how many people instantly died on the day, but it is said that about 140,000 people had been dead by the end of the year 1945.
It gives a message to the humanity that what an atomic bomb can do.
I've never experienced so many people together in a building like that with almost complete silence. I think everybody was so shocked by what they saw and heard.
They had so much spirit afterwards to deal with the destruction and build something out of it, a city like this that's so amazing.
We went to the Todaiji Temple. It is one of the oldest temples in Japan, 1,300 years ago. Many people who are going to this pagoda pray for peace and health and good fortune.
So it was lovely to see that how actually Buddhism has spread around the world and how it has influenced people's lives, their way of thinking, their way of doing things. And they were lovely, and people were feeding them, and when you tell them bow, they were bowing, and we kept taking pictures. It will be lovely to show them to our grandchildren.
Well, it was quite funny the way they bowed their head, like that.
Yes.
Bowed their head before they took the food.
We go to Kinkakuji and have like a golden pavilion. It's built 600 years ago.
It was in the distance, and you thought, oh, that's a nice yellow pavilion. But when you got round to the other side and you were near it, and you could see that it was gold leaf that was on the side, oh, it was quite incredible.
We went to the tea ceremony at the Fukujuan.
Drinking tea out of a cup, they were saying that you turn it twice. She explained that when you turn the bowl, the part with the flowers and pattern should be facing your friends. Other people should enjoy the beauty of the bowl rather than yourself. It's a very small thing, but it describes and explains the whole way of thinking.
We've been in old houses and castles and been told about various customs. We've seen the modern part of Japan, but also the little villages as well. It's really good to have a local guide who obviously speaks the language and can explain customs and traditions as we move around.
The hotel rooms are everything have been very good, and we've had some super views. It's fabulous.
That's a whole year's worth.
The hotels have been fantastic, and the food is great.
I think the hospitality has been superb. They're very friendly, very keen to help, even those that don't speak English.
Lovely warmth and friendship and the beautiful faces. It's just a beautiful part of the world. And the whole experience was absolutely fascinating.